conflating the stagnant wage story with globalization. Let's look at some of the other factors that are driving the pressure on wages affecting American families. We know that, for example, the labor share of GDP has been falling across advanced economies, including the United States. And lots of careful studies that have been done, including a recent one by the IMF that's looked at what's been driving the declining share of wage income in the national income. And it concludes that half of that is probably technology. The portion of that that's only attributable to trade is at best a quarter. So that's one factor. Then you've got the other factor that's going on, which is the fact that productivity, so for a very long time, we used to count on the fact that whenever we had productivity growth, you'd have wage growth. That has not been as true recently as it's been historically. So wages aren't quite going up as much as productivity does.
Well,
so we have to look at all these factors.
I want to take that point to Thea. To respond to your opponent's argument that I'm hearing, it's other things. Other things are causing this. Very clear on technology that I think anybody can understand, automation, et cetera. What about the response that it's not just globalization?
Well, it isn't just globalization, but the question isn't whether globalization is the only factor that has undermined the American working class. It is whether globalization has undermined the American working class. And what Jared and I would argue is that there are a lot of factors, as you say, and we would agree with that, a lot of factors that happen at the same time, the technological innovation, the attacks on unions, the regressive changes in the tax code, the failure of American business to invest in infrastructure and in skills. But a lot of those things, what I would argue is you can't separate them. And as Jared said before, when you look at, even if you look at trade and technology, if you are beset by imports, you're a business owner in the United States, you're producing something, and you find that cheap imports are flooding, one response is going to be to automate and to shift away. And so you can't take apart automation and globalization so easily. And also, I would argue that multinational corporations have used the power and the wealth, as Jared said, that they got from trade agreements and globalization. They used that power and their bargaining power to attack unions and to undermine minimum wage and to erode living standards in a whole slew of ways.